What's up, y'all? This is Grow Up with JP. How y'all doing out there? This is my first time doing a live, so don't hold it against me. I'm trying to figure this out, just like a whole lot of other people. But today I am here to work on something that's been a new obsession of mine, a new passion of mine, and that is um, gardening. Really just gardening, growing food. Times is changing, so we want to learn how to do some things for ourselves, so you don't always have to depend on the grocery stores and things like that. But today I'm here to show you a little experiment that I've been working on, because I wanted to find out if it was actually able to be done, and that is regrow cherry tomatoes from actual cherry tomatoes that I bought from the store. And if you see right here, all I did was I took 2 slices from a cherry tomato, and these are all of the tomato plants that I have gotten. I mean, like, it's a lot of them. I didn't realize it was going to be like 20 plants out of like 2 slices of tomato. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to transplant these plants. We're going to do it like an experiment, trying out different fertilizers, and different techniques with these plants to see what works out the best. I'm going to do like a 2-week interval and then like 30 days to show the difference in between what's working and what's not working. So first things first is I'm going to need to take this little basically root ball out of here and break these apart, because we want to get the biggest, strongest ones to use. I'm going to use like 5 of them, like I said. The rest of them, I wish I had somewhere to take them, give them away or something, let somebody grow something. But this is this is a delicate process, because you don't want to damage the roots too much. As you can see, just keep on moving it around as the dirt falls off, and then you'll start to see all those roots in there. See, not doing anything to try to rip them. You want to just coax them apart. I actually let these stay in way too long. Just so y'all know, these actually stayed in way too long. I was doing a lot of other stuff, so I'm surprised that these plants are as healthy as they are, because I left them in there about 30 days. This is about 30 days in. If it wasn't so many, they would be really big. I'm also going to give y'all some tips on how to feed them and not have to go to the store and keep buying loads and loads of fertilizer, things like that, to put on your plants, when more than likely you got what you need right in your cabinet or right in your refrigerator to you know feed and grow plenty of crops. I mean, plenty. A lot of people don't know simple things like yeast. Some simple baker's yeast will feed your plants a little sugar. You let me know if y'all want the recipe. I'll show you how it goes. See, this is all we're looking for. I like to get my hands dirty, but as you can see, I don't mind getting in the dirt and playing around. But as you can see, this is one whole little plant ready to go. But we want to choose this big one right here. Yeah. See, they just fall right apart. I'm going to take this nice little big one right here. What I'm going to do, I got some pots. These little pots I'm going to put them in. Nothing huge. I'm just going to put them in these little pots. for this experiment. I have a soil mixture here that I make myself. I blend this together. It drains well, it holds moisture well, and it really, really allows your root system to grow on your plants and get big and strong. But we want to fill this initially about halfway. I do it about halfway because I like to add bone meal. I don't know if you know about bone meal or not, but it helps give your plants calcium so they can build strong stalks. Good things like that. Actually helps with fruit setting. You know, pretty much like when you go to the store and get your vitamin D and your calcium and all that good stuff. Sprinkle about, for a small plant like this, do about a quarter cup worth of it into it. Do about a quarter cup into it, then mix it in. Just mix it in. And I'll take a little more dirt, add on top of that. So it's not too strong for your baby roots. But that's in there now, so that as the plant gets bigger, the roots are going to grow into that. It's going to feed. It's going to allow the plant to get big and strong. Now, all you want to do now, you want to get these two little leaves at the bottom. These are starter leaves. These are what feeds your plant when it first starts. These are, like I said, they're a little rough looking because I left them a little bit too long. And like I said, y'all, this is my very first live. I am new to this, so don't beat me up too much. But I'm going to try to keep y'all somewhat entertained while we do this and be informative. So just in case you might decide to grow you something, use patio, anything. Get you some grow towers so you can have, if you have limited space, it really does help. Yeah, but this is gonna look a little crazy when it's first done because like I said, I left these too long and they have shaped themselves in ways that they weren't supposed to. We're gonna get this popping though. And to start them off, I take a little bit of this Happy Frog, basically like it's like an all-purpose fertilizer. Put a little bit of that in there to get them started off. Well, not all of them. I'm going to do maybe two starting off with this. The others I'm not going to start off with these. And just to show y'all, you don't need a whole lot. You just need to sprinkle across the top. Mix it down into the dirt before you totally cover it over. Mix that down in there really good. That's all you really need to do. Take a little bit more of this soil mixture. And I'll also give y'all the recipe for this soil mixture too. I promise you, it's gonna make everything you grow. It's gonna make it perform. It's gonna do what it needs to do as long as you give it right watering schedule, get it on a good feeding schedule. Your plants will produce. Get you a nice little spray bottle, something like this, so that you can mist the top of your soil. What that does is breaks the surface tension. That allows, once you start to water it, to get it really good and set, you press it down a little bit. Make sure you're making good contact with your soil and your roots. Just a little bit. Don't press hard like you're trying to push it through the bottom of the bucket. That won't be good. Your roots won't breathe. And now, I can just take my little cup of water here. This is, by the way, this is rain water that I'm using. Just so y'all know, I wouldn't recommend using water straight from the sink because a lot of times it has the chlorine and other chemicals in it that tend to disrupt all the microbes and organisms that are living in your soil. Chlorine will bleach the color out of your clothes. Think what it'll do to living microbes. But that's one. And this one has been fed with the organic fertilizer that I get from the store. Now the other plants, I've been, I would say, trying to work with new fertilizers that are from home, stuff I use from home. And right now, all you really need, if you get some brewer's yeast, some regular dry yeast, um, and some sugar with some water, let it sit for a few hours to overnight, and you got a really good fertilizer for your plants. Believe it or not, but it works wonders. And then you can piggyback that with just some plain yogurt. No flavorings, no additives, no anything, just plain yogurt. And you take like a cup of plain yogurt, mix it with a gallon of water, put about a cup to 2 cups on each one of your plants, and it's going to help uh, increase the amount of good bacteria that you have in your soil that helps feed your plants. And in return, that yeast water with the sugar is going to basically create a symbiosis. It all works together. The sugars, the sugar is being broken down by the yeast. The yeast helps decompose things in the soil. The sugars break down, they feed all of the organisms in the soil. The organisms in the soil in return help your roots thrive. They help clean them and get rid of the waste that the plant excretes also. We're gonna take this nice big one next. We're gonna put this one in here too. Yeah. You see here. Now this soil mixture that I use, it's a mixture of cocoa fur. You can buy it in bricks, you can buy it in blocks, like 2 pound bricks, 10-pound blocks. I normally use the 10-pound blocks because we're filling up a lot of pots and raised beds and stuff like that. Um, take some mushroom compost. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be mushroom compost, but that's what I use. Um, and you take that and mix it with some perlite and some vermiculite. Now, there's a certain amount that you want to use. And if anybody's interested, I will let you know what the ratios are for that. Um, I've been trying to pay attention to my screen because I don't know if y'all talking to me or not. But like I said, I'm new with this, but we're gonna work this out today. Now we got our bone meal in there. I always give all the plants some bone meal because, like I said, you don't want to overdo it, but you want to give them some bone meal because you do want them to build strong stalks and branches to hold all the fruit that they're going to produce. I promise you that yeast water will make your plants go crazy. My cucumber plants went from barely any flowers to I get so many flowers on the plant now until it's crazy. That's all I can say. It's unbelievable. At some point I'll get a chance to show y'all, but it's unbelievable how many flowers popped up on that cucumber plant to be pollinated by all the little pollinators. And with the cucumbers, ooh, you gotta watch out. You gotta watch out for them dang on aphids, and especially those dang on cucumber beetles. They're little beetle. It's like yellow and black. It'll have it'll be yellow with black stripes or yellow with black dots. I believe the dots are the female. I think. I have to look into that again. But there you go. You see, I'm not doing anything super technical or something that causes you need a degree for in order to pot a plant or to regrow plants. Like I said, all of these plants came from 2 slices of tomato. That's it, 2 slices of tomato. Put them in some dirt, cover them over with probably about a 1/4 inch worth of dirt, and 5 days later they were sprouting through. 5 days is all it took. See, break this surface tension again. So it just allows the water to soak down in. This is just regular old rainwater too in a spray bottle. I got my little reserve over here. I don't want to overdo it right now. I don't want to have water everywhere all in my space. So when I get outside, I'll water them thoroughly like they need to be. But you never want to put a plant into just dry dirt. You're going to harm your root system before you even get it started. Now, I'm going to take this other one and see. I know I got a couple of really big ones here. I'm going to break this down. See, like I said, all you got to do is just take your time and work it around, work it back and forth so that you don't tear your roots all up. You can just let that extra little dirt fall off to the side. And sometimes you might even have to have some water to dip it in so that you can get it to wash some of that away, so it'll allow those roots to break free of each other. Ooh, I like this one right here. This Big Mama right here, y'all. Check out Big Mama right here. She was in there eating up all the goodies from everybody. Y'all eat when I get done. Y'all see her? Oh, she huge. Let me see. Come on, come on, come on out of there. Don't be stubborn. She's trying to be a little stubborn, y'all. But I'm working her. I'm working her. Come on out of there, baby. So, anybody in here watching might be a gardener themselves or curious about gardening, thinking you don't have enough space, it's gonna take up too much time, all that good stuff. That was some of my excuses at first. I'm like, I ain't got time for all that. I hear watering. I look like Farmer Jim, you know. But I think I'm turning into Farmer Jim more and more every day. All right, we're gonna take some more of this dirt. But I swear, cherry tomato came off one of my other plants. I bit into that thing. It tasted so good. No chemicals, no, uh, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a plastic or whatever they spraying on these foods nowadays to keep them from spoiling. You know, how the hell an apple sit on the counter for a month and not go bad? I'm sorry, something ain't right about that apple. Anybody disagree with me? That's your opinion, but something not right about that apple if it sits on the counter for a whole month and don't go bad. That's all I'm saying. Woo. Okay, we go. Now let's get this big girl planted. And see, even in that little thing with all those plants, I got a decent amount of little roots on there. This is enough to get this plant started. I wish I had some mycorrhizae, but I ran out. That also helps with your root system, having some mycorrhizae around. But I've run out, and I just didn't make it to the store to get any more. So I'm going with what I got because there's other things to help build a root system. These shake it a little bit to get it to settle down. Oh, you know what? I'm up here making mistakes because I'm talking to y'all and not paying attention to what I'm doing. I didn't put my bone meal in here. But good thing about plants, everything you put in them washes down. So we'll be okay. I'll mix that in there pretty good. Like I said, these others, I'm going to use, I started me a compost bin with extra bin underneath to catch the fluids that run off for a compost tea. So basically what I'm going to have going on is I'm going to have one that I'm going to be raising off this regular organic fertilizer. I'm going to have two that I'm going to be raising off yeast water and yogurt. And then I'm going to have two that I'm going to be raising off the compost tea that I'm making. And I found out that if you do a compost heap right, it does not stink, y'all. I promise you, it does not stink. When you open it up, it actually smells good. It smells pretty decent. I couldn't believe it. I just knew I was gonna open that thing and be like, okay, close the top. But no, it smelled really good, you know? And that stuff could be beneficial because if you can take grass clippings, you know, banana peels and fruits and vegetables that you eat, you know, as long as they're not diseased or, you know, anything like that, and you can toss it in a heap and let it sit for a few weeks or so. Let it allow it to break down and release all of the nutrients and stuff that are in it, the micronutrients and things like that. Oh my goodness, that saves you so much money. You don't have to be out there spending $40, $50 on fertilizers when you've already went to the grocery store and bought it. It's another nice one. We're gonna pot this nice little one right here too. Yeah, a lot of this stuff you can make your own calcium at home. All you need is some good crushed down eggshells and some vinegar. Let it sit for about 10 days to allow that vinegar to leach the calcium from the eggshells and stuff. And you can take that and dilute it with water, feed it right to your plants, and they're gonna love it. They're gonna enjoy it. You know they liking it when you go outside and you see all of your plants leaves doing this, like they saying, I love it. You know, that's what they're gonna be doing. All the leaves will be standing up towards the sun. They loving it, believe me. Now, if you go out there and they droopy, you haven't watered it right, or you've given it something wrong. And it's gonna let you know quickly that you're giving it something wrong. Very quickly. A plant is a lot like a human. If you eat something within a couple of hours, you're gonna know it was bad. It just didn't agree with me because my stomach is acting a fool. Oh my God. A plant is a lot like the same. If you give it something it does not like, within a few hours, it's gonna let you know. You're gonna come out, it's gonna be curled over, leaves gonna be drooping. I mean, it could be doing anything at that point. It's gonna let you know, hey, you didn't feed me right, or you gave me too much. Giving too much can be just as detrimental as not giving up anything. Fry your plant, fry your root system, everything. So it's only about a quarter cup of bone meal. That's all it is. You put it in there and you just mix it around in there. Just let it mix in. Just think everything, every time you water your plant, everything you put in, it pushes from top to bottom. So every time you water, water's coming out the bottom. That means you're also washing out nutrients. That's why you have to continuously feed your plants. Between this right here, this is more like 3 weeks to a month before you would have to go in with, I would say, I would up it from like a quarter cup with a small plant to, once you get a bigger plant, to about like a half a cup each time you decide to go in with it. As far as the like the yeast water, stuff like that, you would be more like 2 weeks. Like every 2 weeks you would go in and refresh that, so that everything is looking good. I'm sorry, y'all, I was cooking something. I'm gonna step off screen for like 4 seconds. Give me one moment. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's get this plant in here. But this is I'm gonna need a little more than that. I don't like that. Yeah, there we go. Not really worried about getting these in too perfect. I just want to conduct this experiment and see what actually works the best completely out of all of them, and then I can put my energy into just using one full all-purpose fertilizer that's going to take care of growth, that's going to take care of bloom, it's going to take care of your root system, all of that. Root system is garbage, your plants are going to be garbage. They are not going to produce they're not going to produce worth a dime. That's all I can tell you. Go. Now, some experienced gardeners are probably saying like, man, what the heck are you doing, man? You starting tomatoes this late? Well, I do got like a little greenhouse, and plus I'm going to have an area in my house where I'm planning to try to keep this stuff going over the winter, so that I can show people how you can grow food in your house, even with a small amount of space. You can get your grow towers. You know, I'm about to say this like, everybody might have it, or have the ability, but you can get you a nice little grow tower with like 20, 24 different little slots in it. They're like 6 inches deep to grow like herbs and things like that. Then they have some that are like 12 inches deep that you can actually grow like leaf lettuce, things, even carrots, and right there in them in your house or on your back patio, because you might have a limited little space like that. And believe me, it works. I got plenty of little herbs and stuff growing, chives and lemon basil and different oreganos and stuff like that, because I'm tired of going to the store, being poisoned day after day. Uh, I know some people is probably going to disagree with me. That's fine. I don't. The way I see it, everyone is entitled to their opinion, just like I am. And so, you don't like what I'm saying. I do not hold it against you. Please don't hold mine against me. But as you see, just continue to work these roots out. About to get to this last one. I don't know. Let me see. I think I want one that's been greedy, that's been taking all the food from everybody else. Like her right here. Yeah, that works perfectly. And seeing all these other plants. Look at all these plants that came from basically 4 little slices of tomato. That was it. I'm actually regrowing some sweet potatoes. I got some Yukon Gold potatoes that are just going ham, and I cannot wait to see what they're gonna look like once they finish. But they have been really growing. I'm really excited to see how that turns out. That was my first experiment. This is actually my really like my first year getting into this, because I want my health to last me. And like I said, you cannot be healthy eating stuff that you can sit on the counter for 6 months and come back to it and it look like the day you bought it. That is, I'm not gonna mention no names, but you always have a friend in big red shoes. You know what I mean? You can't survive off that kind of stuff. So believe me, people, and the way prices on everything is growing up, you know, it growing up faster than my plants. You know, the title of this is "Grow Up," because that's what we need to do. We need to grow up, because if we don't, you're gonna be pinned down with all that garbage. Okay, let's go in here with our bone meal one more time. See here, let's mix it in. Toss in a little bit more. Get that in there. Whew. 3 gallons was just about what I needed, y'all. All right, last one. The little root system. Not huge, but it's gonna do. Let me try to get them as close to the center as I possibly can, because this this works out better that way. All right, let me see. Put this in here. Ah, good thing I got some more dirt. Got some more dirt. I can finish this one off. So this just helps with breaking the surface tension, so it allows your dirt to soak in the water better. If you ever paid attention when you try to water a plant that's dry and you pour the water in it, then all of a sudden 2 seconds later all the water's running out the bottom of the plant, you're like, how's that possible? It must have gotten wet. No, it didn't. You got some wet streaks going around the outside of your root system. Nothing got to the inside, and then you go sit that plant back up there and you wonder why it's still dying. That's why, because you didn't wet your soil completely. You want to allow it to get wet so that once you put it on there, as you can see here, watch it just soak right in. It just soaks right in. I can fix my plant, but it just soaks right in. That's it. That's what it's going to do. Once this is all settled, you don't have to worry about it moving or anything like that. But that's it. It just soaks right in. And it's actually quite therapeutic doing gardening, especially when things are going the way that you want it to go. There are some things that you can do to screw up and be really, really mad at yourself, like I did last night. If I tell y'all what I did last night, oh my God, oh my God. I'm sitting over here sick. Like I done damn near killed my plant trying to get rid of fungus. Nobody's told you, if you didn't know, baking soda is really good at helping get rid of, different type of fungi and fungus that grow on your leaves and stuff. And a lot of times that just comes from them being too wet a lot. And I was supposed to be mixing up some last night, and instead of me mixing it for something this size, 32 ounces, I mixed up a concoction for a whole gallon's worth and put it in 32 ounces of water. And I went out there and I sprayed my plant, and I damn near fried every leaf on my plant. Do you know how sick I am looking at my cherry tomato plant, and it's looking like um, what's his name, Two-Face from Batman? One side look good, the other side just hanging. You know, that, that is not that is not a good look. That is not what we were trying to do. Oh my God, I really feel like bad that I'm just going to end up getting rid of these. I don't know what to do with them. Well, I am planting cherry tomatoes. I just saw that. How do you fix the roots on the side, man? Fix No, 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 no. You can't. You can, if you were referring to when I was saying that the water runs down the side of the bucket if the dirt is dry, all you got to do is wet the dirt slowly at first, or take a spray bottle just like I did. Wet the top of the dirt first. Let it soak in for about 20, 30 seconds. And then from there, you can just take your watering can, whatever you're using, and water it, and you're going to watch that water soak right down into that plant a lot easier, into that dirt. And if you're using something like this, you would think taking a cup of water like this and just pouring it in there is going to, no, it's not. You're going to need nearly twice the amount that this is if you want to water it correctly. If this is, just believe this is a like a half-gallon pot, you're going to need close to a gallon of water to actually water this right. Now, if you're feeding, I would say only use like a half a gallon of water and then let that soak in, and then come behind it with the mixture that you've made up for your food, and then pour that soak in, and then come behind it with the mixture that you've made up for your food, and then pour that in. If you try to do feeding with the watering, all you're really doing is wasting it because it's all going to run out the bottom of the bucket. So what you want to do is water the plant first, get the dirt good and wet, and then come behind it, pour your food on top, and it's going to force that other water out, and it's going to take its place and allow your plant to actually soak up what it needs, if that makes sense. But these are cherry tomatoes. I bought them from the grocery store. They were actually really good cherry tomatoes. I'm sorry, y'all, I cannot remember what the exact name of them are, but they were really good tomatoes. So I figured I would just, I'm just gonna put this dirt right back in here. I just figured that I would try to regrow them so I can have me some of them, and I'm hoping that they come out as just as tasty as that did. But I had green peppers. I had a green pepper. Oh my God, tastes so good. I just took one off my plant yesterday, and they're actually growing to the size that they need to. I like that. They're not misshapen and all that type of stuff. Um, that's pretty much what I came here to show y'all today, is that you can easily, I have 9 lemon plants, lemon trees, lemons that I bought from the store, took the seeds out of the lemon. Some of them I soaked them in water, some of them I didn't. I just wanted to see which way would work best. It did not matter. They all came up. Every last one of them came up. So now I have like 9 lemon trees. No joke. And once I see which ones are going to be the biggest and baddest, those are the ones that I plan on keeping. But look at that. Look at all those plants. These are all plants, and I'm going to have to just get rid of them. We're just going to have to trash them. And I'm so upset about that. I don't have enough pots to be planting 40 cherry tomato plants, you know? But like I was saying, definitely if you growing things like cucumbers, things that fruit that attract aphids and like the cucumber beetles and the little green worms and all that. If you want to maybe use something like diatomaceous earth, um, if y'all allow me a second, I'll go grab it and show you what that is. And it really does help fight those cucumber beetles, because those things are treacherous. I mean, these things are creating babies on your food while they are eating. I ain't never seen nothing like it in my life. They that when they set up shop, they come to set up shop, and that is no joke. But hold on 1 second, I'm gonna grab this diatomaceous earth. But yeah, but this is what it is. This is food grade diatomaceous earth. This right here, I actually got one of those little like ketchup dispenser, little plastic bottles. I fill it up and I just take it and I just go and I just squirt it top and bottom on the leaves of the cucumbers, pepper plants, things like that. Even like collard greens, mustard greens, things like that. If you can protect them without having to use an insecticides or pesticides or anything like that, you the better off you are for it. Believe me when I tell you that. Who is that saying say hi? Well, hello, Max Watkins. I told y'all please bear with me because this is my very first live. So I don't know how to watch my screen and talk to y'all and do what I'm doing, all that just yet. But I promise you, I ain't gonna do nothing but get better. I will do nothing but get better at this. But man, anybody, I wish I had anybody that I could just give some of these plants to so that they could grow some food with it. But I digress. Yes, anybody out there that's watching got any questions for me? Anything you might want to know? How to get things started? Uh, um, how to fix a problem that you might have? Like I said, I'm not an expert gardener. I'm really just beginning, but I've been soaking up a lot of knowledge from gardeners who have been doing it for a while. Um, there's one I give a shout out to over on YouTube. His name is James Prigioni. Dude's garden is freaking Herculean. I mean, I mean, you pull out cabbages. I mean, literally this big, like no joke. Heads of lettuce. This, I mean, like bigger than my head. Like, I mean, like his stuff is awesome. He's one of the people that I learned about soil and soil conditioning and things like that from. And so I'm just going to try to pass on some of the knowledge that I have here that I've learned. Maybe I can help somebody get themselves started, just like cats like him helped me get it started. Because I just saw what he was doing and I was like, man, I want to do that because I'm tired of going to the store paying all this money for cilantro when I can grow it right on my back porch. Um, Apples and all those type of things. Even though I haven't started trees yet, I plan on it. I plan on it. But first things first, you got to learn how to crawl before you walk. And you got to learn how to walk before you run. Don't get ahead of yourself with gardening or you'll be smacking yourself later because some of these chemicals and different techniques that you use on plants, once you do it, it cannot be reversed. And some of them are very unforgiving. Believe me when I tell you this, very unforgiving. Like putting too much baking soda on the leaves of your damn plants. Oh, it's very, very unforgiving. Hello there, Hash Star. How you doing? Hello to everybody out there watching my live. Say this is my very first one, and whoever joined in with me, I appreciate y'all joining in with me, coming through and hanging out for a few moments. If you stayed, if you didn't, okay, maybe I wasn't your cup of tea, but I hope I warm up to you later. But that's gonna be all for now. I hope that my little tutorial on how to plant some cherry tomatoes, how to actually regrow them just from slices. You don't have to go buy seeds. You eat cherry tomatoes, go to the store, buy you a pack of cherry tomatoes, come home, take a couple of them, get you one of these little cups like this, fill it nearly all the way with dirt, put your two little slices on there, throw some dirt on top of that, and wet it and sit it, and I guarantee you in a week you'll have plants popping out of everywhere. That is no joke. But until next time, y'all, love, peace, and hair grease. Y'all don't kick up no mess in these streets. Goodbye. I think I know how to go by. No, I don't. See, I told y'all this is my first live. I don't even know how to cut it off yet. See? Who's all out here? Who we got? Hash Scar. How you doing, Hash Scar? Oh man, let me see. Oh wow, this is thank y'all for all the love. I really appreciate y'all. Thanks. I didn't see all of these little things that were going on. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. And until next time, I'll see y'all again. Hmm. Oh, hmm. Hey, somebody in those comments that uses this, tell me. No, I'm just playing. I know how to do it. I'm just playing with y'all. Sometimes I try to be a funny man. Bye, y'all.